Hi there, 12/28/2015. Look at this beam coming out of here. This is right near St. Louis. Oh. Okay, so I clicked on that accidentally. I was trying to get closer, and this is what shows up. Multiple hazards in effect. Heavy rain and breezy. Let's click here for details for just a minute. Flash flood watch, wind advisory, flood warning. And then here it tells all about what's going on. But that isn't very comfortable for the people living there. But what I was trying to show you are these beams that are coming out of the radar station there. Right out of here. Get in there a little bit closer. Closer, closer. Research Park. Doesn't it sound like a fun place to go visit? Okay, so let's back out of there. I want to make this kind of quick for all of our sakes. So the beams are coming out and hitting this mass of a storm that's moving north. This is just the radar that's showing up here on El Dorado, right there. I'm going to go over here to the infrared satellite. That's what's showing up on there. And that looks pretty wicked. Yes, indeed. But what I want to show you is comparatively, this is causing an uproar in the whole United States, but look at over here. This is bad in Europe, and look at in Russia. And all of it's not even showing up. And look at these two systems coming together right here. This is intense. This is much bigger than what's happening in the United States. Look at that. Incredible. These people need our prayers. Look at what's hitting Europe. Comparatively, this is minor, and it's really bad. This is humongous. And look at how much of the northern hemisphere, or maybe globally, is covered with, oh, come on. It's covered with water vapor all over. It's been cloudy and dark and depressing, and it seems like it's that way on most of the world. To me. Look at this thing moving over here fast. Okay, so I'm going to get out of El Dorado. Just real quick, think comparatively when I was showing you Russia. This is the United States here, and you remember what that looked like. This is getting hit with, the yellow is tornado, the red is either tornado warning or blizzard. Purple is hard freeze warning, so there's ice and snow and tornadoes. And this is what the radar looks like on here, which doesn't look as intense as, let's go back to the satellite, this. But once again, that is nothing compared to what we saw when we were looking over on Europe and Russia. Okay, so now I'm on the RSOE. The link will be below. You can see here in the United States, there's several tornado touchdowns. Excuse me. And look at this. A heat wave. in December. There was earlier in, I don't know, a week and a half ago, there was a heat wave up here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tornado touchdowns here. Snow, forest fire. Everything on there isn't from today. And if we look over here, any of these little things we can click on, such as this, which is a chemical attack. This is flooding. There's not a lot that shows up in here though. So I suspect that the information isn't out, at least on this board. But if we move down here, current emergencies, snowstorm in the USA, flood in the United Kingdom. Look at them. This is at the top bad thing. Details, we can click on that, get a description here. Devastating floods in north of England. Saw the city centres of Leeds and Manchester partially submerged after more than a month of rain fell in just a few hours. Okay, so then there's all this information that you can read about if you desire. Flooding in Wales. A day ago, flooding in Yorkshire and Lancashire, England. Flood in Australia. Flood in Argentina. Flood in Paraguay, which is really bad nationwide. This is the chemical attack in Syria and tornado in USA. And then short time events move down here. Flood in Uruguay, extreme weather in the USA, storm in the USA, vehicle accident. That always seems strange to me that they would have that on here, but let's just click find out what it's about. Freight train carrying 200,000 liters of sulfuric acid has derailed in northeast Australia. Acid and diesel fuel have spilled. Oh my God. Locals told the ABC they could smell the acid immediately. A state of emergency has been declared in a 2-kilometer radius. Okay, well that is not good. Sulfuric acid. Don't like that, man. Snowstorm in the USA and Texas, which is normally pretty warm. Non-categorized event in Japan, which doesn't have any coloring on it. What is this about? Just out of curiosity. U.S. residents of military base in Japan have been warned to shelter in place in the wake of a security incident. Yokota Air Base leadership issued a shelter-in-place response to a security incident on base as a precaution to protect all base residents. They later announced that they arrested a suspect who had entered the base without authorization. Oh, and they came in with a suspicious package. Okay. Oh, I was going to turn it off here, but then I read a little bit further. Under a mutual security treaty, about 50,000 U.S. troops are currently stationed in the Asian country, half of whom are at the Okinawa base. The heavy U.S. troop presence on the tiny island, however, sparked anger among residents who called for the entire removal of the base. They have been long complaining about noise pollution and crime associated with the U.S. base, and yes, they sure have. That has been there too long. United States is paying tax dollar money is going into this, and they don't want us there at all. That's an important piece of information. So anyway, I like the site because it has a lot of other things going on. Earthquakes, tsunami information, volcano activity, active tropical storms, supervolcano monitoring system. Earth approaching objects. Has a lot of interesting information on it. The link's below. So, in searching for weather in Russia, this is the Weather Channel. This is one of the things that I found, and I'm finding a lot like this without really a lot of information. But down below, of course, there's all this information about what's going on in other places. The unprecedented flooding soaks UK. This blizzard is such a big deal in the United States. I mean, it really is a big deal. I'm not trying to minimize that at all. And why isn't it opening up? Okay, so it's even called Winter Storm Goliath, a crippling blizzard in the southern high plains. It is a bad storm. Hmm. And you better believe that Travelers Insurance is making money too. Look at this.
As its name implies. Look at that. Sections of New Mexico seeing 8-foot snow drifts. Other places in Texas you can barely see in front of you. Chunks of interstate shut down. I-40 shut down between Amarillo, Texas, stretching over to the New Mexico border. Now let's talk about the impact Goliath will still be bringing as we transition over into the beginning of a work week. On Monday, we are certainly going to be watching a lot more locations picking up on snowfall and icing due to Goliath. This is going to be very, very dangerous for power outages. Please note that if the power goes out, you need to have a plan. It's very important if you do choose to travel that you have those backups in your vehicle should you become stranded. There's a look at the snowfall still to come. Many locations easily picking up an additional 5 to 8 inches. More impacts to come across the upper Midwest and around the lakes as well.
Okay. Okay, I did find on Weather Underground some temperatures and conditions of places in Russia. And we do have some drifting snow, heavy blowing snow, um, ooh, smoke, scattered clouds, light snow showers, mostly cloudy, heavy snow showers, overcast, partly cloudy, light snow, blowing snow, um, freezing fog, and this goes all the way down, as it's going through the cities alphabetically. But it's not as pretty as what the United States shows into the United States. Okay, I didn't really find what I was looking for as far as more kind of pretty weather of Russia, but I did find this. Weather warfare. Beware the U.S. military experiments with climate warfare. Climate warfare has been excluded from the agenda on climate change. This article was first published by The Ecologist in December 2007. And then it goes on to talk about environmental modification techniques have been applied by the U.S. military for more than half a century. U.S. mathematician John von Neumann, in liaison with the U.S. Department of Defense, started his research on weather modification in the late 1940s at the height of the Cold War and foresaw forms of climatic warfare as yet unimagined. During the Vietnam War, cloud seeding techniques were used, starting in 1967 under the Project Popeye. Okay, so then we go on, and there's a lot of information here that you may be interested, and I'm running out of time, so I'm not going to read it all to you here, but this is where HAARP is located, and this is information about HAARP and other weather modification system. This is a very good website, and I would recommend that you look at it and see all sorts of information, such as this: war crimes, Israeli planes spray crop-killing chemicals on Gaza farms,